passed away this morning after a short battle with cancer. Anne, a graduate of Morehead State University, was a vital member of the Winton Woods High School family. She taught science classes since 1994 and was the science facilitator. Anne held extremely high standards for both herself and her students. Anne coached girls basketball, volleyball, and softball, and was an avid supporter of every aspect of Winton Woods. Anne left her mark on the lives of many students and colleagues. A true warrior by every definition, Anne fought the good fight. She will be greatly missed. I ask that you join me in a moment of silence to honor our fallen warrior.
You have 4 years of high school, 2 or 3 of them at best on the varsity football field. It is senior night here for the Winton Woods Warriors at Charlie Frederick Stadium on the campus of Winton Woods High School in Forest Park, Ohio. And the Warriors host their longtime rival, the Anderson Redskins. It is the 19th of October 2012, a cold, light drizzle night outside. John Palmer and Jacob Williams along with you. This series has been going on for years between these two teams, Jacob.
Well, we know that, and a lot of tough games between the two teams. I know last time the Anderson Redskins visited Frederick Field here, they had a dose of heartbreak dealt to them by the Warriors in that game. But we know it's Halloween season in the OHSAA Autumn, and at the beginning of that time when things turn to orange, the Warrior Nation will once again show honor to the ones who've been keeping the home fires burning, for the seniors that say bye tonight for now. Speaking of bye, one or both of these teams will need to see to it that this week doesn't end up as their bye to the 2012 OHSAA playoff picture, JP.
Anderson and Winton Woods have played since 1999. They've had 4 games, including 1 playoff game. Anderson leads this series 9 games to 5. Winton Woods has a home advantage. Winton Woods has won 4 of the 6 games that have occurred here at Frederick Stadium. Tonight, Anderson is going to try to win to keep the hopes of a winning season alive. Winton Woods fighting to get a home slot in the playoffs. We get ready for the kickoff. Want to mention our officials for tonight. Referee Mike Harbison, umpire Ken Harbison, linesman Terry Miller, line judge Walt Harbison, and back judge Jason Reeves.
Of course, J.P. Anderson, one way or another, will bring their A game. But if the Redskins slip up, they could end up like the fruit of the season, carved up, lit up, and you know the rest of the story.
Dylan Smith to kick for the Redskins to Winton Woods. Anderson in white. Winton Woods, black on black. Mike Edwards, Nick Grissom. Receive that is actually picked up by number 7, which is Sean Jetter. And he will be taken out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. So Winton Woods will start 1st and 10. And it looks like it'll actually be spotted on the 29-yard line. Winton Woods starts 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line.
Well, Sean Jetter picked that ball up on the initial kickoff, and the Warriors going to put it in play here. Sean Jetter, of course, trying to make sure that his senior night is a good, effective ball game, and he usually winds up and shakes down pretty good against the opposition. So let's see what they got here, JP.
Number 2, Shamar Hooks, the junior quarterback, back in the pistol for Winton Woods. Bit of a high snap, hands off to Tyler Guest, the fullback. He'll get up for about no gain. Looks like he'll be stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Looks like that ball, there's a fumble on
Maybe
that
knocked
play.
loose. And turnover immediately on the first play from scrimmage. Anderson takes over 1st and 10 in the Winton Woods territory on about the Winton Woods 29-yard line.
Here we see Shamar Hooks gets a high snap, but he hauls it down and reaches it over on the handoff. I don't think it ever got securely put in the guy's stomach, but this is up to the Warriors defense now to shake off the ill effects of these early game jitters for the Warriors.
Coming into this game, Winton Woods had 17 fumbles. They lost 14 of them. Now they have fumbled 18 times and lost 15 of them. Turnovers have killed them in every game that they have lost. The games that they have lost have had 3 or more turnovers each.
Officials blowing the whistle here before Anderson get the ball off here. We'll have to sort it out.
Officials checking, maybe too many men, some other, or equipment issue here on the field. Yeah, too many on the field, so. Kevin Rogers, the quarterback for Anderson, number 12.
They're looking over to Coach Sting over there on the Anderson sideline for his orders.
Rogers takes the snap. He'll keep it, runs around the middle, and he'll pick up about 3 yards on that play. We'll mark him at about the 25-yard line.
Okay, on the zone read, Rogers keeps that and noses it up north and south there, but Warrior defenders, a lot of hats waiting for him. We see number 29 there for the Warriors on that stop. Stephen Thompson, 6'2", 210 junior.
2nd and 5 on the 25-yard line for the Redskins. Rogers takes the snap. He'll give it to number 17, Nick Stallings. He'll pick up a couple yards on that, and we'll mark him around the 23-yard line.
Nick Stallings trying to bust in there. Got blockers in front of him, hats on hats. Looks like a 3-yard and cloud of dust type of play there for Anderson. Bring up a 3rd down, looks like about 4.
About 3rd and 4, well spotted on the 23-yard line.
This is where the Warrior defense has to stand up and be counted here. We know.
Rogers gives it to Stallings again. Stallings has a bit of a slot, but he is stopped. Looks like maybe for a yard loss or no gain.
Okay, so worst way this looks, and may end up being 4-down territory for the Redskins. Based on where this ball is, looks like where they're on the Warrior the 24-yard line.
Yep, ball spotted on the Winton Woods 24-yard line. 9:50 left in the first quarter of play. Rogers airs it out, incomplete. Intended receiver is number 11, Jared Cook.
There's Rogers trying for that fade, near sideline fade, but it just can't be caught up to by the Redskin receiver there. So the Warriors take over on downs here.
Turnover on downs. So Winton Woods gets the ball back. The thing that's happened all season so far, in every game, win or loss, the offense has put the defense in a tough position for Winton Woods.
Because normally the Winton Woods defense could handle those tough positions. Here we see
pitch out to Grissom. He's taken out of bounds at about the 27-yard line, picks up a few yards.
Nick Grissom, good yardage on that play. I'm sure Nick Grissom wants to make this senior night one to remember for him as well as his parents.
Gist in the fullback. Gist gets the ball, goes around the outside. He'll pick up a first down and then some, brought down at the 35-yard line.
Shamar Hooks kept ball. That. Quarterback for the Warriors. Been having that brace on for that MCL all year, but looks to me like he's been a real stout Spartan there. He's not let it get him down. He's doing a good job leading this Warrior offense.
Hooks pitches out to Grissom again. Grissom has a bit of room on the outside. He'll stay up on his feet. Taken down finally at the 45-yard line, inching ever closer to Anderson territory. And Jacob, this is what Winton Woods is great at, breaking tackles, picking up extra yards.
Yes, he broke that arm tackle, and of course the guy had him by his shirt tail, and he was able to run out of that. The Warriors got the ball on their own 45-yard line.
9 minutes left in the first period. Winton Woods, 1st and 10, again from their own 45-yard line. Shamar Hooks under center. Back to pass. Passes out and falls incomplete. There were 2 Anderson defenders in that fray.
It looked like the way that ball was thrown, it was a miscommunication somewhere. Sean Jetter was in the neighborhood, but he didn't kind of speed up like he was going to try to run it down. So I guess he's lucky to have this ball back.
That's an errant off center.
Hooks under center again. Gives it to Grissom. Grissom has a hole. He's free, but he'll be taken down in Anderson territory at their 42-yard line.
Nick Grissom picking up serious yards, gashed him good on that crossbuck play. Good blocking again by his receiver out there on the perimeter. .8:33 left to go. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Ball on the Anderson 43-yard line.
Hooks back in the pistol. A bit of a high snap. Little screen pass. Incomplete off the fingertips of Stephen Tucker.
And Stephen Tucker couldn't hold that one down.
Under pressure, Hooks. And throws just a little too high for Mr. Tucker. Of
course, senior center Mike Day handling the snaps for the Warrior offense when he's not handling steel cage matches against Coach Fuller.
Hooks runs to the left side, rounds the bend. He's into the open field. He's at the 25, 20, taken down at this about the 5 or 6 yard line by a shoelace tackle.
Shamar Hooks just out there and outmotored everybody to the spot there. And I'm telling you, that knee brace is just, I think, a sandbag because people look at that and think this guy can't run.
There was a tackle just like that in the Thurgood Marshall game here, homecoming night, that caused Shamar a bit of an ankle injury that kept him sluggish and out of the last couple of games. Just barely clipping.
And I'm sure Sean Jeter was eager to throw that block if Hooks had stayed on his feet there. And
Hooks keeps it, runs the right side, touchdown, Winton Woods, 6-0.
Winton Warriors giving the homey version of the facts here right off the get-go to the Anderson Redskins. And of course, Anderson wearing these orange helmets, it kind of looks almost like pumpkins up there.
Robbie Lewis, the kicker, kicking a bit into a wind. It's a slight crossing wind going from right to left as the kicker looks at it. Robbie Lewis has immense range. He can kick 50-yarders.
Oh, yeah.
Kick is up.
Lewis.
Good. So Winton Woods, with 7:48 left in the first period of play, strikes first, 7-0.
JP Robbie Lewis, he's actually hasn't had a lot of kicking opportunities, I'm sure, the way he would like to see this year. Okay, here's a touchdown again. He fakes the give, and just falls him right through there. Again, you have another Anderson defender trying to tackle someone by the shirt tail, and not tonight.
Anderson has allowed their opponents, 35 points per game so far this season.
Well, they're on schedule to allow at least that many tonight, but again, Anderson, you got to give them credit. They come in here, had a tough year of their own. Reminds me a lot of the year that Winton Woods Warriors had last year. But these guys are going to pull themselves together and give a good account of themselves tonight, I'm sure.
Robbie Lewis again back to kicking into the wind, but I wouldn't be surprised if he still belts it into the end zone with that boot he's got. Robbie Lewis, the senior, kicking and back to receive. Number 11, Jared Cook. And kick goes directly to Cook. He'll pick it up at about the 5-yard line. He's got a little bit of room to run, but he'll be stopped at the 21-yard line. Anderson takes over, 1st and 10 on their own 21.
So Winton Woods special teams holding that return down to a reasonable position. Now they come out there with their defense on the field. K-Ron Poole, number 27, senior linebacker. Stephon Rogers, number 23, senior defensive back. You know, these guys are looking to really go out with a bang tonight against the Redskins.
Longtime rival, as we said at the top of the show. Former conference rival, now a non-conference. Kevin Rogers in the gun. He'll keep it. Runs straight into the line. He'll be stopped, shoved back. Looks like we'll give him about a yard loss.
Looks like Daniel Cage is near the bottom of that pile for the Warriors. Big Daniel Cage, he's got a cast, kind of a medium cast on his right wrist, the way it looks. But I don't think that's going to be enough to put too much of a damper on his prospects of success tonight.
Alongside in the fullback position, Michael Johnson for Anderson. Rogers back to pass, sacked in the backfield. Loss of about 7 yards. We'll spot him at the 12 or 13-yard line.
Therese Curtis in there for the Warrior defense, along with Daniel Cage and others. It looks like they're going to make sure that when this Anderson quarterback goes back to pass tonight, he's going to have to run for his Halloween, let's say. We got 3rd and 19.
3rd and 19 from their own 12-yard line. Anderson mired deep in their own territory.
Warriors look like they're coming on a blitz.
Back to pass again, airs it out, and incomplete. Intended receiver, looks like Jared Cook.
Jarrell Foster in there, keeping up with Jared Cook for the Warriors. So it looks like it's going to be 4th down and forever, and Warriors about to receive this punt. Looks like Mike Edwards is back there.
Number 6, Mike Edwards is back to receive the punt. Yeah, good punt. Picked up at the 46-yard line by Edwards. He's got room on the right side. A flag on the play. Edwards taken down at the Anderson 18-yard line. Flag on the run back. It could be a holding or a block in the back.
Yeah, we'll have to sort out this flag, though. I got to give Mike Edwards good credit on that. He was able to sort through where he was going to go and wind it up with good yardage, except that the officiating crew has to have their say before it's all over on this one.
Holding on Winton Woods.
So there goes another penalty for the Warriors.
Let's see if we'll see it on the replay here. It would have been just at the top of the screen there, or just off the top of the screen. So the penalty is from the spot of the foul. So that run back to the 21-yard line puts the Warriors bang on midfield. Hooks under center, gives to Gist. Gist punches through for 3 or 4 yards, and a flag thrown in.
So it looks like that flag's thrown in the neighborhood of holding on the offense. We will give the Warriors credit, though. Okay, so that's a clip low.
Yeah, chop block is the call.
So the official's going to march it back 15 yards against the Warriors. Tyler Gist wanting to make his senior night one to remember. Been carrying the ball for the Warriors now for a few years around here, associated with some tough ball playing.
Gist and the fullback, Grissom in the slot. Lateral pass to Grissom, but he gets nowhere. Anderson defense with a big stop. Loss of about 3 yards on that play.
Nice stop for the Anderson defense on that. That pass fooled no one. Coming up there, number 13, Jason Sellis making the stop.
That's the thing about both of these offenses. They get fairly predictable.
Yeah, well, that fairly predictable part is okay as long as part of the predictable is the other team is going to get their mouth smashed. Okay, so Shamar Hooks rolling.
Back to pass, rolls out, and dropped.
That ball was dropped by
Jalen Davis. Unable to get his hands on that. Now, it's been raining most of the afternoon on and off, so the field's a bit slick. They keep the ball dry, but whatever part of it contacts the ground could be a little wet.
Well, of course, now the field, we don't have any more drizzle. It looks pretty dry now.
Of course, artificial turf back in 2006 was the first year of this. Before that, a nice bit of a mud bowl this game would have been. Hooks and the pistol.
Anderson looking for the deep throw.
Under pressure on the draw. Hooks sacked for a loss and brought down at about the 23-yard line. And he gets back up a little slow, but showing no signs. And the hands team comes on for a punt.
Okay, so the Anderson defense able to put the stops to any plans the Warriors might have had on offense of running up the clock or running across midfield. So they're going to have to punt. Looks like
Robbie Lewis back to punt, and Jared Cook back to receive. Good snap. Lewis gets a good punt off. And Cook picks it up at his 46-yard line, calling fair catch. So Anderson takes over 1st and 10 on their 46-yard line.
Okay, so the Anderson offense, if they're going to start getting on track, you would think they ought to be ready to make a move now. Nice field position here.
This game usually goes down to who scores last.
Well, this game is a matter of staying within hailing distance of each other. You don't want to let anyone open up a big lead in this game either. Nice.
Straight up the middle and stopped at the original line of scrimmage. Looks like number 17, Nick Stallings, had the carry. Just watch this, Jacobs. He bam into the line.
Looks like number 8 for the Warriors, David Long, sophomore, 6'2", 205, putting a hard hat on that stop.
Stallings in the halfback. Rogers back to pass. He'll keep it. Gets a bit of a pass out, and that'll pick up a first down. Reception by number 35, Dex Barga, the tight end.
So there's a first down for Redskins. Nice to elude that rush on them and get out there and dump that ball off for first down yardage for the Redskins.
Kevin Rogers under center for this, or no, he's back in the shotgun, excuse me. He'll keep it. He's got a little bit of room on the right side. He'll pick up about 5 yards, put him at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, JP, it looked like the quarterback realized from the previous play that he had a decent running alley where he could have picked up yardage himself, and so that call there looked like it was designed just for that purpose.
Bit of a drizzle picking up again. I see it washing through the light. So gets a bit of a wet ball to put up with. Rogers back in the backfield. Pass is complete.
Looks like little or no gain, even though the ball was
About
complete.
a 2-yard gain, it looks like. Jared Cook on the pickup.
Of course, speaking to Coach Sting, by his reckoning, his team to be on a game, many of the answers will bees in the trap play, that is. The old line is going to have to open up some good blocking here.
Rogers keeps it, runs the right side. He's got a bit of a hole, but stopped just around the first down. Looks like he will get it by about a half a yard.
Yeah, it's either that or it's 4-down territory at this point for the Anderson Redskins. They come in here tonight, not too many of their nation with them. Normally the Anderson brings big nation with them, but evidently they want to watch the baseball playoff game tonight.
1st and 10, ball marked on the 28-yard line. Rogers back to pass. Can't get anything. Sacked for a loss of about 12, 13 yards. Put him at about the 35-yard line.
Daniel Cage, number 18, storming in there on this young man. And, you know, once you get in his grasp, cast or not, you're going down.
Second and 17 for the Redskins from their own 35-yard line. Clock ticks under 1 minute to go. Rogers back to pass, keeps it himself, hops over, picks up a few yards, put him at the 31-yard line.
Nice stop by Therese Curtis, number 10 for the Warrior defense. 6'1", 200-pound junior linebacker. You know, he's been playing with a lot of heart for the Warriors this year.
So that'll bring up 3rd and about 13. Anderson on the Warriors' 31-yard line. 20 seconds and counting left in the period. This should be the last play of the period. Rogers takes the snap. Looks for an air mail. And is that caught?
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Anderson.
That ball was thrown up there. Unfortunately for the Warriors, number 8, David Long, the linebacker, never turned around to see that ball. He could have had a pick if he had help.
Jared Cook on the reception of the bomb.
Anderson Redskin crowd have something to cheer about now.
And they're going to go for 2 here. And here they go shift. Now they're going to set up for a PAT, go for a bit of a trick there.
It's like making this PAT A.J. Penley.
Penley boots it, blocked by the Warriors. Winton Woods blocks it, and they keep a 1-point lead. Anderson unable to get that kick.
That block could be good, big, JP, way this game is going. I don't think the Warriors expected Anderson to come back and score on them this early in the game, so.
So that is the end of 1 quarter, and after a ground struggle first quarter, Jacob, Winton Woods has a 7-6 lead. And that wind is blowing that, it's a bit of a heavy, strong drizzle.
Yeah, it's picking up again by the flag. It's really ripping around good now.
Wind looks like it's coming out of the southwest. Surprised the band's still out here with all their woodwind instruments, but it is senior night, so they want their senior recognition too.
That's right.
Our man directing the truck is actually going to come up a little before halftime. He is our band public address announcer for tonight, Mr. Jason Dudley and his dulcet tones.
So it looks like the Warriors special teams getting ready to receive this kick.
Yep. Number 6, Mike Edwards. Number 24, Nick Grissom, deep to receive.
You know, I think whoever can proceed to prevail in this game will have one fine tune-up for what may await them in this year's fine edition of the OHSAA football season.
Dylan Smith kicking into the wind this time. Ball is blown set by the officials. Smith's kick is up and caught by number 7, Sean Jetter. Caught that at about the 25, 26-yard line and down at the 36.
And Sean Jetter matriculated the
37,
ball upfield well for the Warriors special team. Looks like he'll stay in there on offense.
Sean Jetter, one of the receivers for the Warriors. Look at that drizzle just blowing sheets through. You can see it in the light shadow.
Well, kind of situations we've had this year, JP, I don't mind the drizzle as long as the lightning and thunder don't show up.
Hooks keeps it, pitches out to Grissom. Grissom gets 5 or 6 yards on that, knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Nick Grissom beat everybody to the edge on that play. And this is the kind of play, if you're Anderson, you can't have this history repeating itself tonight.
That's the beauty of the triple option. You got one option. If that doesn't work, you got a second one. If you got the third, that can get you a few yards still.
So it looks like they're looking at a 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 from the Warriors from their own 43-yard line. Hooks sets up under center. Takes it, gives to, or he'll keep it himself. He'll run the left side. He busts through. He's under pursuit. Down to the 25, 20. He misses a tackle, misses another. Shamar Hooks gets the 2nd touchdown for the Warriors.
Shamar Hooks letting it all hang out. There's the electric slide, land of 1,000 dances there for the Warriors on offense. Here they come out to put this extra point on Robbie Lewis.
One lunging tackle doesn't get him that time, and Shamar Hooks busts loose for his 2nd 6 of the night. Robbie Lewis for the kick. Ball down, kick is up, and it's good. Winton Woods goes up 14-0.
14-0 score for the Warriors on this
14-6, excuse me.
Oh yeah, what's wrong? 14-6.
Sorry, I was looking at my stat sheet and I didn't look low enough. Now take a look at this. The truck's down. Let's look at the way number 2 Hooks keeps his knee up to avoid being down just before the ball breaks the plane. The knee millimeters away from touching the floor.
Of course, Shamar Hooks wants it bad. He's a junior quarterback. He's going to be here next year. This is his team now anyway. And as the leader, he's showing these guys how to run this offense and get in the scoring land. So Anderson come out here, receive this kickoff.
So
here come the Warriors, about to step off into it.
Lewis's kick is up, takes a bounce, and it will roll into the end zone. Anderson lets it. Actually, no, they're going to call an offsides, I believe, and retry the kick.
Of course, Winton Woods, they're being penalized again. But the penalties that they're suffering tonight are the penalties.
You'll see the offsides right there in the lower right of your screen.
With these execution penalties, it's not the same as those anger management penalties, at least to me, of course. I'm not the coach.
You're not?
No, but when I was here Monday, I'll tell you this much. Coach Dre had this team running constantly for the whole practice. And, you know, he was telling me that their pregame meal or their Thursday night meal with the team is going to be beans, water, rice, and stale bread. But I know he was just kidding.
You can go for some stale bread. Kick, and that goes into the end zone. So touchback for the Redskins. First and 10 for the Redskins from their own 20-yard line.
11:33 left to go in the half. This is where the Warrior defense, if they can find a way to stand tall here, get this ball back again and score some more points before halftime.
Next week, Winton Woods has Glen Estee. That's another team that's a big rivalry, both on the east side of Cincinnati. Winton Woods leads that series 8-5, and they've also been playing Glen Estee since 1999. Rogers keeps the ball, runs up the middle, picks up about 5 yards on the play, brought down at their own 24-yard line.
Looks like a nice stop made there by number 8, David Long. Eager and anxious to put away that bad memory of that Anderson touchdown pass a while ago. Of course, you know, JP, with the Glen Estee, again, a former FAVC foe, and now the disbanded FAVC, they've gotten a league of their own now. Of course, the Warriors have done a nice job of finding a good, tough schedule to play this year. I must commend their staff.
Winton Woods has had a tremendous schedule this year. Hanging tough with Elder, having a few turnovers that cost them that game. Having the lead in the pit, probably had that pit just a little sweating.
Of course, you know, talking, well, we'll come back to that after Anderson runs his play.
Rogers with stalling alongside. Rogers back to pass. Under pressure, pass incomplete.
Rogers did good to avoid Kayron Poole. Left him a little straight arm. And who else did he avoid? Therese Curtis. So he was at least able to throw that ball out for an incompleted pass instead of taking a big sack.
Woods defense loves to have a QB scrambling.
Oh, yeah. They love to keep a QB's ear to the ground, if you will.
Rogers back to pass again. Aired out and broken up. Incomplete again, 3rd and 7.
Terrell Foster on the stop for our Warrior defense.
So, Kevin Rogers Oh, excuse me, that's a punt already. And caught by number 6, Mike Edwards. He's loose. That'll be another 6 for Winton Woods. Give this one to Mike Edwards. Winton Woods up 20-6.
Mike Edwards all the way to the house on that one for a senior night in the Warriors. Yes, sir. Kind of could see that coming. Flag
on the field, though. That might be coming back.
That block was okay. These guys told me before the game they knew they could spot a wardrobe malfunction at Woodstock, but what about this flag, JP?
Holding on Winton Woods, so call that one back.
Okay, so the Warrior offense will take the field, led by center number 63, Mike Day. Number 53 out there is Azel Mitchell, senior, 6'3", 265.
So Anderson will actually keep possession after that.
Jamar Hooks under center.
No, actually, it was a turnover still. The possession error on the scoreboard has not updated. So that'll run will get him up to about the Anderson 37-yard line. Gist on that carry.
Of course, you know, that was a punt return that Mike Edwards took to the house. Unfortunately, that penalty put the stops to that.
How many times have we seen that happen to Winton Woods? They would be up 20 or 21-6 by now if it wasn't for that holding.
Well, I mean, I'm all good.
Pitch out to Grissom. Grissom has some room. He will get the first down, be brought down at the Anderson 31-yard line.
Yeah, JP, you know, these penalties by the Warriors, if they can somehow, you know, win in spite of these penalties, I'm all good with that. I mean, you'd like to see them clean it up some. But even the year they were state champs, they were penalized heavily. They just had the kind of offense that could, you know, neutralize those big penalties.
Speaking of playoffs, Whitecross will endeavor to cover every single game they're able to, with the exception of the state finals, which are exclusive to Sports Time Ohio, the Cleveland-based.
Tyler Gist on the carry again for the Warriors. Nosing up in there for yardage. It's going to make it 2nd and 3.
So Shamar Hooks, Coach Parker was telling me yesterday when I visited him during their brief Thursday practice, Shamar's not quite 100%, but he is definitely getting better, and they did get Christian Lumpkin, the backup quarterback, some good playing time.
Cross puck. Look at this.
Grissom has it on the far side. He'll be taken out of bounds for a first down and then some at about the 13-yard line.
Well, JP, you know, Shamar Hooks looks like the kind of quarterback that, you know, he can lull you to sleep. He's got the talents of a lot of these quarterbacks that is getting all the press. And next year, his senior year, it's going to really come to fruition even more. But right now, his ice water in his veins ability is really keeping his Warrior team to where they still are a force to be reckoned with in these playoffs.
Yes, sir. Hooks under center. He keeps it. Rolls the left side. He's got some room. He'll be taken down inside, even further inside the red zone at about the 6-yard line.
I'm telling you, he's just steady. He runs like a one-stack Mac in there. You're not going to just take him down, and don't assume because of that knee brace that he can't get out the way. Of course, I'd like to see Sean Jetter go up and catch his fade route, maybe. Senior, number 7, Sean Jetter for the Warriors.
Hooks gives it to Tyler Gist. Gist bowls in, and touchdown.
No sign yet from the officials.
No, looks like he'll have been down just shy. So he's at about the 1-foot line.
Oh, yeah.
First and goal right on the line.
So here comes Hooks back in there under center. What do you think, JP? Sneak it?
Yeah, I'd say so. No, he'll give it to Gist. Gist gets it in, I think, waiting for a signal.
There won't be one because he got stopped short.
No, just how do you get stopped short when you're right on the line?
Because there was penetration. They collapsed that in there. Mike Day got the good block off, but by the time they just got there, the Sky submarine all the action for the Redskins there.
Just short.
You got to give him props. That was a
So second and
stand-up
goal
play
for the Warriors.
So it's center Mike Day. This is where over there practice the other day, I'm sure he ought to specialize on opening a hole on this play.
Gives it to Gist, and Gist is in that time.
He's in this
Touchdown,
time.
Winton Woods, 20-0, 26 even.
6:23 left to go in the half here. Warriors extra point team, Tavon Poole on one end over there. On the other end is David Long. They want to keep tacking on these extra points.
Robbie Lewis' kick is up and is good. Winton Woods up 21-6 with 6:23 left in the first half of play.
This is what they're doing tonight, taking care of their business here at home, Frederick Field. Of course, we have other games being played in the area. We know Colerain Cardinals have to face Lakota West. That's one of the big games in Big Bird, Mount Healthy Owls going to be down there facing off with the Edgewood Cougars tonight. So those are two games that I'm interested in finding out what happened.
Some of the larger score gaps in the history of this game. 2000, Anderson beat Winton Woods 35-20. 2001, Anderson beat Winton Woods 42-26. 2002 was close, 22-19. It has usually been close. Winton Woods won in 2004, 28-12. Anderson won in 2005, 42-28. And in 2009, Anderson defeated Winton Woods 52-38, but Winton Woods, remember, won the state championship in D2 in 2009. But every other game has been within about a score or less.
Well, that's, again, a testament to the fact that these two teams respect each other's programs.
Kickoff goes into the end zone again. So Anderson takes over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
I know in talking to Coach Sting before the game, you know, he indicated we had some injuries on offense. A couple players that was getting a lot of yardage carrying the ball are out. But he's not one to try to say that's a reason why. You know, he keeps his team on a good foot as best as he can. And they always, again, one way or another, they bring their A game.
That's one of the best things about this series. So the Anderson Redskins offense comes out again. Back in the pistol. And be given to number 17, Stallings, for a loss. Lost about 2 or 3 yards on that play.
Tackle on a play by number 15, Adrian Rankin, 6'3", 230-pound junior. He'll be back next year for the Warriors. So even though the Warriors saying home goodbyes to 15 seniors tonight, they still have a lot of deep talent coming back in the future.
Kevin Rogers, again, number 12 for the Redskins. Quarterback keeps it, airs it out. And intercepted by number 6, Mike Edwards. He'll be still on his feet, but taken down at the 20-yard line. Ball might be loose here.
Well, that was Mike Edwards. All he had to do was just wait for the ball to drop in his hands. The receiver for Anderson had no idea where the ball was the way it looked here.
Intended for
Mike
Jared.
Edwards knew where it was.
Threw it straight to him.
Okay. 5:31 left to go in the half, and Winwood's Warriors on the short field here.
Yes, sir.
Ball on the Anderson, what, 18-yard line?
That's on the 19. Let's look at it that way. Hooks. Gives it to Grissom. Nice little misdirection. Grissom on his feet. Grissom gets his first score on senior night.
Grissom going through there, running right out of an arm tackle by that would-be Anderson defender. A lot of speed to the edge with him. Nice block by Sean Jetter. Lifted that defender right off his feet with that block. Here comes Robbie Lewis to put in his 2 cents worth. And it's up.
And that is good. Robbie Lewis, perfect so far on this cold Friday night. 5:24 left in the half. Winton Woods taking out a commanding lead, 28-6.
Here we see one more time. Turn and give on the cross button. You know, Grissom, he just has the vision, and along with the block by Jetter, you know, this number 24 has 50 ways to leave these guys in the dust.
So Tyler Gist has gotten his senior touchdown. Grissom's gotten his.
I'd like to see Sean Jetter get his. A lot of good blocking by that offensive line for the Warriors. You know, Craig McCorkle, Noah Hill, Mike Day. Hazel Mitchell.
Bit of a low kick. Takes a hop. Caught on, or picked up on the 1-yard line. And stopped at about the 17. Looks like Jared Cook on that reception.
Stephen Tucker on the stops for Winton Woods Special Teams. It's like the drizzle's taking a break for a while, although the flag is still burning, ripping pretty good.
So Anderson takes over. 1st and 10 on their own 17 with 5:18 left in the first half. Rogers keeps it up the middle. No, excuse me, that was a handoff to Nick Stallings. Picked up a yard or 2 on the play, put him at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Nick Stallings just tripped on the turf monkey kind of trip.
Looks like they've spotted the ball on the 18, so only about a yard and a half gain. 2nd and 9 on the 19. Rogers keeps it, comes to the right. He'll get a hold, but he'll be taken down by a gaggle of Warriors at the 22-yard line.
Rogers getting that snap, faking the give. Knowing he's going to keep it himself, but those running lanes that were there in the earlier drive, the Warriors evidently have made the adjustments and they've shut that down. So now Rogers is going to have to throw the ball in order to give him something else to think about on defense.
Timeout taken by Winton Woods. So they take their first timeout of the half, 4:31 left.
Well, partner, did you see the big Peyton Manning come back in the Monday Night Football game?
No, I work until 7 p.m. Monday nights, and I go to work Tuesday morning, so I'm asleep during Monday Night Football.
Oh, well, you missed a good one there.
I heard about it.
You heard about it?
For all 5 seconds that I cared about it, that's how long I heard about it.
5 points or 5 seconds? Well, anyway, that
close
game,
enough.
I started to fall asleep on that game myself, and I said, nah, I think they're going to come back. And I'll tell you, what is it about being a former Raider coach that makes for a good color guy in these booths? John Chucky Gruden did a very entertaining job when he got on his soapbox, you know, and delivered his assessment of that game. So let's see what Anderson can come up with on this play.
3rd and 6 for the Redskins.
Here
Back
come the
pass.
Warriors.
Pass is complete to Jared Cook. And he'll be short of the first down. Just right around the first down. Mark it at the 28-yard line. 4th and 1 for Anderson. Spot that on the 27-yard line, excuse me. So back to punt. Dylan Smith. And flag on the play.
Whistle on the play.
Or whistling.
Mike
A
Edwards.
timeout called by Anderson, so they take their first timeout of the period.
Mike Edwards is looking to return his punt. Of course, he came close to breaking one to the house last time they punted, and he sure would like to go ahead and make this one where it actually counts with no yellow flags out there. Of course, by this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you would think the officials would have some pink flags just for the month anyway.
Last couple games, Tony, our production engineer, makes up us badges, so we are surely affiliated with Waycross, whether or not the schools take them. And last couple games, they've been pink in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Me and one of the other crew members, when Tony asked us a couple days before one of the games what color they should be, Hugh, our graphics guy, said he'll only take pink if I donate about $10 to Susan G. Komen. He said he'd match it. He claims he did.
Well, certainly that is a good cause. My mom, she died of breast cancer back in 1988, so that cause is close to my heart.
Bit of a scramble going on here, and flags.
And if Tony, the production engineer, said do it, then that means
Offsides
do
on
it.
Anderson, so a 5-yard penalty on them.
Our production engineer, Tony Suarez, is capable of doing this stuff for CBS, Fox. You know, somebody must be hiding the recruiting mail that they're sending to this guy for him to still be here.
It's jammed in the machine on Dalton Street. So, punt now. Kick is up this time. No stoppages. Mike Edwards lets it fall out of bounds, and looks like it will cross over at around midfield. So Winton Woods takes over 1st and 10 with 3:45 left. On the topic of cancer, it was mentioned before the game, one of the teachers at Winton Woods High School passed away this morning due to cancer. Ann McGahan, a science teacher.
Well, you know, that's obviously going to be a, terrible blow for the team to recover, the school, the faculty, I'm sure her family. You know, it was in 1988, but I remember like it was yesterday.
Grissom takes the ball. He is free to run. He breaks a couple tackles, taken down at the 22-yard line.
Flag on the play.
And there is...
I have to see what the refs call this. Nick Grissom is out here, a man
holding
among
on the
boys
Warriors.
tonight.
So that big run pulled back. They see the Winton Woods High School marching band in formation, taking a bit of a march around the track to the far side, getting ready for tonight's halftime entertainment, senior night.
Now, we've only done, this is what, our second game this year here at Winton Woods.
Yes.
But I haven't seen, do they still do the trombone suicides?
If conditions allow, yes.
We need to get someone up here from the community to volunteer. Maybe say like that dude, he's not doing anything these days for the Reds, and have him come up and stand in and let them do the trombone suicides. I'm sure.
Around him?
Yeah, he's a good sport. He would like something like that.
And that dude.
That dude is a bad dude, you know?
Marty?
Who?
Want to do Marty? Let's get Marty to do this. Marty Brennan, let's get Marty to do
Now,
it.
you know Marty's an Anderson fan. He would come in here and do that. Of course.
We can have him come do it on the Anderson.
Marty, you know, he's got his hair cut now. He shaved his head.
Get Jeff Brantley to do it.
Cowboy? Can we pay him enough ice cream to come down here?
Does it have to be EDF or Graders?
I think he goes for the UDF, so that'd be a little bit less expensive, wouldn't it?
Should be. Smart hooks under center.
There's
Screen
my
pass
man.
out to Sean Jetter. Jetter taken out of bounds and a flag.
And this flag looks
Could be a
like
late
it's
hit.
going to have to be a late
Or a
hit on
face
the
mask.
Redskins.
Someone of that sort. We'll see what the call is.
3:16 left to go in the half. This is where we'd all like to see Sean Jetter come up with his senior night 6-point.
Personal foul on Anderson. And automatic first down for Winton Woods.
Yeah, well, there we go. Sean Jetter takes his ball and turns, and you know he's getting halfway decent blocking by Tyler Gist out there on the edge. Of course, the Anderson defender evidently got frustrated and laid the late hit on.
3:15 left. Grissom again, but taken down in the backfield for a couple-yard loss.
That's
Put him at the
Jalen
15.
Davis taken down on that cross buck attempt. Jalen Davis, he was sporting a lot of good yards for the Warriors earlier this year.
So a loss of 2 on that. The ball right on the inside of the 15-yard line. 2.5 left in the half.
There's a give inside again.
Runner picks up
Tyler
a few yards.
Gist.
And it looks like they'll spot it at the 9-yard line.
I'll tell you, JP, this chain gang is going to be busier than a one-arm tie-dye T-shirt salesman at Woodstock around here tonight.
Do you know from experience?
Actually, no. I heard about it. But the position I was in back in those days, I couldn't have found nothing happening there anyway.
Hooks gives it to Gist. Gist barrels through, and he gets his second touchdown of the night. Winton Woods goes up 34-6.
Just leaving Anderson defenders in his wake, just getting the ball off the ground. Number 34, one of the defenders there, Derek Malencamp. He tried an arm tackle that wasn't going to happen.
So Robbie Lewis in for his 5th kick of the night. Flags. Encroachment on the Redskins.
Well, so then
So it'll be half the distance to the goal.
didn't they just decline and keep the kick for the point?
Yeah. Well, they'll have. It was a dead ball, so it was before the kick anyway.
Oh. So they got a kick anyway. Well, they still
Yeah.
might as well be point. They blew the whistle a couple millihertz before the kick.
Couple fragments of a second. And that boot is up. And good. 35-6. 1:49 left in the half. I don't know if I'd want to be in the Anderson locker room at halftime, Jacob.
Well, I don't know what's going to be said in the Anderson locker room. I mean, here we go on this replay. Hooks turns and gives in there to Tyler Gist and a couple of good blocks. And he just ran out of a couple arm tackles where, you know, these Anderson defenders had to know that they was going to have to bring their A game.
Coach Parker said that he wants to keep them playing hard, his Warriors, keep them ready for the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I talked to Coach Parker a couple days ago this week, and, you know, he seems to feel like his team is the kind of like the boss joker around here, if you will. Kind of feels like the new kids on the block. The Big Bird, Mount Healthy Owls, and the Northwest Knights kind of don't play as tough a schedule as they do.
Austin Reeker back for the Redskins, along with Jared Cook. Robbie Lewis to kick. Wind is still whipping.
Nice kick.
And that'll be a touchback again. You know, I was here for the homecoming game against Thurgood Marshall. They had a lightning delay. They had a stiff wind coming out of the south. Flag was straight out, pointing straight up the field.
Okay.
Robbie Lewis from the standard kickoff place kicked it. It went through the uprights on the far side. The ball did not land until the other side of the track, beyond that fence right in front of the athletic building.
That's what I mean. This guy, Robbie Lewis.
That was with the help of the wind, mind.
I'm telling you, the kicking he's been doing this year, of course, you knew it was leading up to this anyway, but I think if Penn State finds out about this guy, that they're going to be trying to recruit him. But we'll have to see.
Anderson runs, gets a bit of room, picks up about 8 yards on that. That is Nick Stallings on that carry.
1:37 left to go in the half.
Clock runs. Redskins second and about 4 from their own 26-yard line, excuse me.
They might try the long pass.
Stallings with it again. He'll pick up a couple more yards before being stopped by the entire Winton Woods defense. He'll get up to the 29-yard line, though, 3rd and 1.
Clock running still, 1:06 left to go. Like you say, JP, all kind of Warrior defenders there.
Clock ticks under a minute left in the first half. So Kevin Rogers and Stallings in, halfback. Rogers keeps it, runs the left side. He's got a bit of room. He'll get the first down and a few more down at their own 34-yard line.
Mike Edwards
first down for the
in
Redskins.
On the stop for the Warriors. Mike Edwards is playing just a supreme game for the Warriors tonight. Stephon Rogers over there to make sure he taps down. 29 seconds left to go. This is probably where Anderson will try that deep hail to the Chief pass.
Back to pass, and he'll be tied up, but stays on his feet, still under pressure. Airs it out of bounds, caught by one of the coaches on the sideline from the Warriors.
Nice catch on the sideline.
Saves a bit of time. 11 and a half left in the half.
Yeah, Anderson, they wanted to go and throw that long ball, but unfortunately, Mr. number 12 there, Kevin Rogers, couldn't make up his mind of what he was going to do.
And brilliant catch by the coach. Rogers airs it out, and that is caught by Cook. No, incomplete. Incomplete.
Looks like that was going to be that inaccurate reception kind of looking play there.
So 4.3 left. One more play from scrimmage in the half. Anderson will start the second half with the ball.
Jarrell Foster, nice play on defense for the Warriors. They're going to have to survive another pass attempt here before halftime by the Redskins.
Rogers under heavy pressure, gets it off and dropped. So at the end of the first half of play, Winton Woods has a commanding lead going into the locker room, 35-6. You're watching Waycross Community Media Halftime Next.
I began producing and volunteering for Waycross when I was in the 7th grade. Since then, I have produced many programs that have won awards on the local, regional, and even national level.
Waycross Media was the ideal place for me. I just got involved in, as I say, as a hobby and continued on from there.
Anyone with a message that they want to share should come to Waycross, take the classes, and produce their own television show.
Do you like what you see? Do you want to see more programs like this? Well, check out waycross.tv for this program and others like these.
Hi, I'm Clark Kellogg. Have you ever thought about what makes high school sports so great? High school sports are great because of our coaches, who not only teach the game, but also teach lifelong skills like hard work, teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship. High school sports are great because they keep things in the proper perspective. It's great to strive to be the best and to try to win, but high school sports also strive to develop the best students, the best teammates, and the best leaders of tomorrow. High school sports are great because they are truly about community, bringing students, parents, and alumni together the way only a sporting event can. The privilege of participating in high school sports is one of the most exciting experiences of a young person's life. So please show your support because high school sports are great.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Welcome back to Frederick Stadium, here on the campus of Winton High School, Forestburg, Ohio, on this 19th day of October 2012. Anderson Redskins visiting the Winton Woods Warriors here, coming to start the third quarter. Jonathan Palmer and Jacob Williams along with you. Your halftime score, 35-6 in favor of the Warriors. And Jacob, let me have a look at some of these halftime stats here. I have the sheet in front of me. First downs, Winton Woods 11, Anderson 5. Rushing, 23 carries for 205 yards for the Warriors. Anderson, 17 for 21 yards. Also, total offensive plays and yardage. Anderson, 218 plays for 212 yards. Anderson, only 29 plays, but they only got 73 yards. Also, time of possession. Anderson, 12 minutes, 48 seconds. Winton Woods, 11 minutes, 12 seconds. And here's a big one. Winton Woods has had 4 chances in the red zone. They have scored every single time.
It's a great stat there, that last one, JP. Of course, now, they come out here at the beginning of the second half. We weren't in their locker room. I'm guessing it had something to do with, I don't care if we have 99 problems on special teams, as long as these guys doing the land of 1,000 dances across our 50-yard line isn't one. And I'm sure Coach Dre, from what I saw around there this week, is going to see to it that these guys come out amped up for the second half of senior night.
Alrighty, Winton Woods had the ball to start the first half. Anderson will have it to start the second half. Before we resume play, I found a few scores on the internet during halftime. At halftime, Elder and Highlands tied 10-all. 7:32 left in the third quarter, the last update from Mount Healthy. Edgewood leading Mount Healthy 7-3. At halftime, Coleraine leading Lakota West 21-20. And at halftime, Harrison 21, Northwest 20.
Well, JP, that sounds like Northwest and Mount Healthy are going to have to take care of business in the second half of their respective ball games.
Of course, if both Northwest and Mount Healthy lose, that helps Winton Woods in those Harbin standings.
Oh, yes, and again, as far as Winton Woods go, you know, although, you know, also you got to consider that Coach Dre and his Warrior Nation must know that distractions and assumptions about new kids and big birds on the block could end up in consequences as dire as a pair of disgruntled woodpeckers on Noah's Ark.
All righty. Jared Cook, number 11, back to receive, and also Austin Reeker back deep to receive Robbie Lewis's kick. That kick is up, and touchback again. So Anderson will start the third quarter from their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Of course, this Robbie Lewis is a definite asset to have on your team with that toe of his. There's probably rarely, if ever, any going to return on his kicks. And, of course, he has the ability to stick the big field goal for you if he gets a chance. Of course, the offense tonight for the Warriors is not giving them a chance because they're scoring touchdowns.
And Kevin Rogers back to pass. That is caught by Jared Cook. He'll pick up about 11 yards on that. He'll be knocked out of bounds about the 30 or 31-yard line.
Jared Cook on that catch. Interesting where Anderson Redskins are picking up where they left off. trying to attack that same portion of the field on the Warrior defense with the same receiver, so they may feel that they have something they can exploit there.
Kevin Rogers again back in the gun. He'll keep it. He'll roll to the left side. He's got some room. He'll pick up about 7 yards on that, put him down at the 39-yard line.
Of course, you know, he goes out there, was able to straight arm one defender, but Kayron Poole catches up to him, puts the wraps to that after a pickup of a good 7-8 yards.
And officials timeout for equipment. Checking equipment on number 25, Chaz Lumpkin, the cornerback for the Warriors. Rogers gives it to Stallings, and Stallings will, it looks like he'll get the first down by a yard or so. Spot him at the 42-yard line. First down, Redskins.
Good second effort by Stallings, muscling in there. Decent blocking protection for him. Enables him to find his hole. First down for the Redskins.
10:45 left in the third. Rogers keeps it, airs it out, intended for Cook, picked up, intercepted by Winton Woods by number 6, Mike Edwards, and there's a flag. There is a flag. Edwards is running. He will, he's dancing on the out of bounds line. He takes it. He'll be stopped. I think they'll stop him at the 1-yard line.
This flag may be against the Redskins.
Preliminary call by the White Hat, and we have a Warrior down, but he's getting back up. That's number 27, Kayron Poole. He'll get back up.
Nice tip
The official
drill.
did signal a touchdown on the end line. We'll see what the call is on the penalty here. And it was right after the interception.
And we see on that where number 9, Jarrell Foster, is able to tip drill that ball into the hands of
All signs
Mike
point
Edwards.
to coming back. Ball spotted at the 15-yard line. Holding on Winton Woods. So called back. Holding called on number 8 for the Warriors, David Long. Here's a replay.
Yeah, we see where the nice tip drill and right into the hands of Mike Edwards.
Grissom with it, far side, brought down about the 21-yard line, 6-yard pickup.
Mike Edwards is definitely doing a good job for the Warriors tonight. He's a junior. He'll be back next year. I remember the last time I was here on the occasion of the Middletown game earlier this season, where Mike Edwards played the lights out for the Warriors in that game.
Winton Woods dominating Middletown and an unexpected result. Hooks back out to Grissom. Grissom stopped at the original line of scrimmage. No gain.
Okay, so Anderson defense puts the kibosh on that play. Grissom with that ball, and he's looking to head it north and south, but unfortunately for him, number 5 on Anderson, Josh Carell, 6'2", 190-pound junior for the Redskins.
3rd and 5 from the scoreboard says 20, but I see the ball on the 21-yard mark. Jamar Hooks under center. Hooks keeps it on the misdirection with Gist. Hooks breaks free, gets the first down, brought down at Winton Woods' 29-yard line.
Jamar Hooks takes it out of his stomach and pulls it in and starts his own motion. A lot of Anderson hats catch up with him there.
The ball spotted on the 28-yard line. 8:40 and counting left in the 3rd quarter. Hooks under center. Taken down for a loss is number 3. That looks like, no, excuse me, number 5, Christian Lumpkin. Taken down for about a 4-yard loss. Back to the 24-yard line.
Looks like Evan Lackner, number 58, put the stops on that crossbuck play.
$35-6, 7:55 left in the third quarter.
Looks back there in the pistol this time.
Looks out, pass. Gets it to Jetter. Sean Jetter steps out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Sean Jetter able to get out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be close to a first down.
About 4 yards shy. Pickup of 10 on the play, so 3rd and 4 from the 34-yard line for the Warriors.
Looks under center this time.
Hooks takes the snap, gives it to Gist. Gist up the middle, picks up about 2 yards, 3 yards on that at the 36-yard line.
You see the give.
Third and 2, and the hands team comes on for the punt for the Warriors.
Oh, Warriors forced into a rare punting situation, JP.
Robbie Lewis back to punt. Number 11, Jared Cook, back deep to receive. And officials timeout. The official is, I believe, was just double checking the number of men on the field. 7 minutes left. Clock continues to tick. Lewis's punt off. Picked up at the 30-yard line. A couple tackles missed. And we'll get about 6 or 7 yards on that. Put him at the 36-yard line.
So that's a respectable play for Anderson on that punt return. Running around tackles. Of course, there's Mike Edwards eventually putting a stop on it.
So 1st and 10 for the Redskins from their own 36. Let's see if Rogers, Stallings, and Cook can get anything. Rogers keeps it. He'll pick up about 4 yards, stopped at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Rogers jumps out of the arms of one tackler, but lands right in the arms of number 15, Adrian Rankin, 6'3", 230-pound junior. Number 15 right there takes him down with a little help from his friend.
Clock ticking to 6 minutes, 10 seconds left. Rogers in the gun. Bit of a low snap. He'll keep it. Up the middle. Picks up a couple on that.
Nothing
up to about
happened.
the 43-yard line.
See, we got Daniel Cage, Mike Edwards. Whole host of word defenders on that one. Adrian Rankin again on that stop with them. This is where I guess Anderson is approaching midfield. At some point they're going to have to get back there.
And offsides on number 8, David Long.
Okay, so that offside play with this yardage that the Redskins pick up is where they're in good position to try to throw that ball deep and see what they can come up with.
That offside penalty gets Anderson a first down. Still on their own 49-yard line. Rogers keeps it, pitches out to number 11, Jared Cook. And he'll be taken down at about the 49-yard line of Winton Woods, so only a 2-yard pickup before being forced out of bounds.
On that. Warriors defense held contained pretty good on that to where
Jarrell Foster on the stop. Under 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes. Clock stopped after the out of bounds. Kevin Rogers gets that pass off and picks up about 5 yards on that, the 44-yard line.
So my guess this will be 4-down territory for the Redskins. Like they're going to be short by a couple of yards here. Okay, so
third and three. 3rd and 3 for the Anderson Redskins. Rogers back to pass. There's it out, nearly picked off, incomplete. Intended for Jared Cook. Mike Edwards nearly in with the pick.
Ward defense fortunate that the officials decided to throw a flag on that possibility of roughing the quarterback.
Edwards had a head of steam. Do you think if he caught it, that would have been a pick six?
I don't have no crystal ball telling me that, but they don't need pick six to target the big. Okay, here's Anderson looking unbalanced line, something on there on this. And
Rogers takes it himself. He'll get the first down. Gets into about the Winton Woods 37-yard line.
There goes Rose is right up in there, north and south. Goes to Winton Woods defenders, but it's too late to prevent the first down. We've got the ball now on the Warrior 37-yard line. 4:07 left to go in the third quarter.
Rogers back to pass. Caught by Cook, but he drops it. Ball loose.
Looks like Winton Woods.
Possession, Winton Woods. Winton Woods takes over on that dropped catch. Fumble, and Anderson gets a turnover. Winton Woods will take over 1st and 10 on their own 26-yard line.
Like the boy just said, I'm going to drop this, and K-Ron Poole says, well, I'm going to just drop on it. Warrior recovery.
Spot on the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Warriors.
Of course, that was unfortunate for them. They had a good drive going. Eating clock, yardage, but now the Warriors got the ball.
Hooks gives it to Gist. Gist bowls forward for about 3 yards. They'll get up to their own 30-yard line. Sets up 2nd and 7.
There's now JP with Hooks in there. You got the big score, 35-6 in your advantage. How long do you stay with Hooks before you try to get someone in there for him?
Maybe get Christian Lumpkin a bit more QB time.
I just don't want to see anything go wrong. Warriors are looking like they're taking care of business tonight, so where their future is going to be in their hands, more or less.
Hooks under center. Gives it to Gist again. Gist bowls through, picks up about 5 yards. Put him down at the 35-yard line.
Of course, the Warrior offensive line has really kind of rounded itself into shape. Got big Noah Hill, number 68. He's a sophomore, 6'7", 280. He'll be back for the team for another couple of years here.
3rd and 3 for the Warriors on their own 35. 2.5 left in this third quarter.
Looks like I see the Suicide Trombones making their appearance out here.
Gist takes it up the middle. Looks like a fumble possibly. Everyone's scrumming as if it is. And it looks like Winwood's kept it. Didn't get the first down. Oh no, it looks like we'll have a measurement coming up here. Yep, it'll be close. Ball spotted on the 37-yard line.
Here comes the chain gang. Stephon Rogers, Sr. out there with the chain gang.
First down by almost the entire length of the ball.
He told me an interesting story about around the house where at the dinner table, Stephon Rogers and his sister Soul Food have a lot of jump balls over pork chops and spare ribs around there.
Pork chops. Air mail. Pass is incomplete, just beyond the fingertips of Sean Jetter.
Sean Jetter, again, he's out here still trying to give an account of himself that's going to land him in the end zone, but that was just a little bit too far for him. Okay, so here come the suicide, trombone suicides rather, and I can just picture that dude just standing right in there. And Dusty, I don't want to see him get lit up accidentally. He just got out the hospital not too long ago. And
Bruce,
he probably Beaumont, Texas by now.
Caught by number 4 for the Warriors, Stephen Tucker. He'll be in for a first down, or just short of it, right around that. The indication is for first down. Put it about the 48-yard line.
Stephen Tucker, another hungry senior here tonight for the Warriors. Runs around that would-be tackle. Straight arms another guy and muscles his way for good yardage. It's going to be first down for the Warrior offense.
Right before this play real quick, 8:16 left in the fourth. Edgewood up 14-10 over Mount Healthy. Hooks gets it out to Grissom. Grissom around the right side. He'll end up right at the line of scrimmage for little or no gain.
1:16 left to go in the third quarter. This is where the Warrior offense is probably going to be content to just run this clock. Student body left and student body right type of plays.
Under a minute left in the third quarter. Another quick score update. Harrison Wildcats up 28-20 over Harrison with 10:47, or Northwest, excuse me, over Northwest. 10:47 left in the third. Harrison up over Northwest 28-20. Let me not get my team names mixed up there.
There you go, JP. Two teams, Northwest and the Big Birds from Mount Healthy, on the short end of their scores tonight. Like you say, if they should falter and win Woods, put them in a catbird seat, much better position.
Yep. So time expires on the third quarter. Well, we get about one playoff, I think. 4 seconds left. They're going to let time expire. And that's it. So after 3 quarters of play, the Winton Warriors still lead 35-6.
Well, you know, as we get ready to start this fourth and final quarter tonight, you know, I just want to thank the team. They had me over, visit a couple times this week. You know, the team is evolving its sense of brother and sisterhood. You know, the priceless moments I spent, Mike Day, Coach Fuller in their steel cage match. Noah Hill, polite request of, could a hydration hottie help a brother out? Again, Mr. Rogers and the chain gang, the story about fair catching on his dinner table. And this way, I was able to spend some good time with the Warriors since we haven't been to cover them since they manhandled the Middies back earlier this season.
Another update our Waycross Volunteers will be interested in. 5:04 left in the third quarter. Coleraine up 28 over Lakota West with 23. Oh, by the way, let me segue that into a volunteer opportunity. If you'd like to be a volunteer with Waycross Community Media, give us a call, 513-825-2429. You can also check out our productions and information about us and how to get involved on the internet, www.waycross.tv. We're all volunteers here. We'd love to have you. Shamar Hooks under center, and whistle flag on the play on the far side. False start is the indication from the linesman.
And like you say, JP, concerning that volunteering for Waycross Media, with the Anderson Redskins in here tonight with their orange, it reminds me of the volunteer state of Tennessee.
Oh, yes.
And while I don't have any definite affiliation with any of their football programs, if Coach Pat Summit could come down here or up here and explain the need for volunteers, that would be helpful, because we're always asking for volunteers and they don't come.
We need them. I take a quick look up at the Musco Field lights and see a bit of mist falling through them. Hooks keeps it. Bit of a draw, but he keeps the ball. He runs along the sideline, shoved out at the 50-yard line. Well, it looks like the official will spot him at the 49.
Good decision by Hooks there to just continue to run with that ball. Any throw he would have made would have had to been across his body, and, you know, he did the right thing. Why give the Redskins any life with an interception at this time?
Robbie Lewis in to punt for Winton Woods. Jared Cook back to receive for the Redskins. Lewis kicking into the wind this time. It's a nice high boot up there. Picked up, calls fair catch, and Anderson will start first and 10 from their own 17.
Jared Cook, number 11, on that fair catch for the Redskins. Coach Sting has his defense over there in the huddle. And I'm sure he wants to implore these guys to, come on, stand up and keep this game close, even if you know. It's just not normal to see this Anderson nation just boil down to an Anderson tribe over there in the far seating section.
Kevin Rogers keeps it himself, picks up about 3 yards on that, gets to about the 20, 21-yard line. $11:20 left in the game. You know, one thing about these games with a lot of ground action, they go quick.
They go quick. Of course, tonight,
makes it easier for Tony to make that midnight airtime.
I'm sure the Anderson crowd here eager to get back over the east side.
Rogers back to pass, overthrown, incomplete. 3rd and 4 coming up.
You know, Coach Parker, Coach Gray, I saw him this week at practice, and he had a sling on his arm somehow, and, you know, I hadn't seen him in a while. And, you know, I asked him, you know, how did you get your arm messed up? Was you trying to break up a fight between Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey or what here? But, you know, he's got like accident-prone coach. I remember last season he had a foot in a little boot where, you know, he gets run up on by these players in practice. He got to stay away from those sidelines.
Bit of a low snap for Rogers. Aired out again and incomplete again. Brings up 4th and 4. Winton Woods switching outside. So looks like they'll be setting up for a punt. And Anderson looks like they'll set up for a punt.
Okay, so
looks like Mike Edwards is going to be back deep to receive the punt. That Dylan Smith will deliver. Winton Woods will start with good field position. Bit of a low snap. Edwards picks it up at the Anderson 49-yard line, and he stays on his feet. He will be taken down at the 49-yard line. So after all that running, gets nothing to show for it.
Well, he did good, though, to run out of the tackle. At one point, he could have had a big loss, but somehow he stays upright and runs right out of his tackle here. And, you know, that saved Wintonwood's Warriors from a bad situation.
So Wintonwoods takes over 1st and 10 on the Anderson 49-yard line. Hooks back out to Grissom. Grissom gets nothing, taken down at the line of scrimmage. Second and 10.
We're going to have number 5, Christian Lumpkin, in at quarterback now for the Warriors. JP made that handoff.
That's what I get for trusting what used to be happening. Got a flag on the play. Personal foul on Wintonwoods.
Nick Grissom looks like he's kind of wobbly, weary. Getting pulled off on the sideline where they could take a closer look at him.
So piling on looks like what the truck is saying what the call was. We'll have a look at this replay again.
Like
so he's down there and got at least one joining. Christian Lufkin gives it to Gist. Gist bowls forward for several yards before he is finally taken down by at least 3 Redskins. Wintonwoods gets up to their own 45-yard line after being marched back about 15.
Looks like Gist absolutely runs over number 67, Jacob Wergers, on that play. And I see he's going to be coming out, going to be replaced by number 96 for the Redskins, Augie Murphy. So evidently Coach Sting, whatever he saw, figures that I want someone else in there. I'm not going to get run over.
Lumpkin in the pistol takes it. Heavy pressure from Anderson. He stays on his feet. The big man misses his tackle. Lumpkin on his feet, comes around, crosses midfield. Still on his feet, flag.
Yeah, well, it looks like the flag gets thrown, but I see another one. I don't know if they both refer to the same call.
And I heard that horse collar is what the truck is seeing. I heard an ungodly noise from the other end of the booth up here.
Of course, we got the Wintonwoods faithful.
Personal foul, and then holding, they offset. So personal foul on Wintonwoods, holding on Anderson.
But nothing about the horse collar.
That's a face mask on Anderson. They will replay the down.
Of course, you know, with this rivalry being what it is, and the Warrior faithful looking forward to any chance they can to put more mustard on the sandwich against the Redskins. He did a good job to get around all that, plus make up some yardage. But right here, he should just head north and south. Those guys are not going to catch
Lumpkin
him.
with the ball around the left side. He's got some room to run. Gets the first down to about the 34, 33-yard line. Looks like he actually was tackled at the 32. And another flag. That came after the play.
Okay, so
Tempers flaring here in this one.
Coming with these anger management penalties. They won't have the luxury of this as they go into the playoffs.
Officials discussing. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Anderson. Here's a replay. right after the play on the right. Yes, a bit of a shove and a bit of shoving match there.
You know, this is the
15-yard penalty, so Winton Woods will reap the rewards of that. That'll put them deep in Anderson territory at Anderson's 17-yard line.
Okay, so this is where number 7, Sean Jetter, is waiting for his call of senior night, but
gives the
got a
gist
whistle.
and more whistle.
Delay of game
Delay
on
of
the
game
Warriors.
looks like what.
You got anything
Let's see what this.
in the way of an update about those games, JP?
Let's see. Yeah, delay of game. Let's see. Where are we at on some scores here? .216 left in the third quarter for Northwestern Harrison. I presume that score is still the same. I can't scroll the dang thing, so I can't tell you any other scores.
Give inside, the fake inside, and
Lumpkin has it, rounds the corner. He'll be wrapped up at the 11-yard line.
Number 46 on the stop for the Redskins, Philip Arlinghouse. Minutes left to go in the game here. Second and 4 for the Warriors.
Lumpkin gives it up the middle. Gist carries it down to about the 5-yard line. That'll give Woods a first down. First and goal from the Anderson 5-yard line. Winton Woods looking to put a few more scores on the board if they can get this one.
Like you said at halftime, JP, they are perfect in the red zone. That's it. Still perfect in the red zone for scoring touchdowns.
As far as I'm aware, they were at halftime. Up the middle. Ball on the ground down here into the truck. Still up on his feet and down by contact finally for about a 5-yard loss.
Yeah.
Second and goal from the 10. Back to the 10-yard line.
Anderson on defense, it looks like they got the pride factor where they don't really want to give up a touchdown here. They'd probably rather see Robbie Lewis come out here attempting a field goal. Give inside to Jalen Davis, but he's
met at the line of scrimmage. He'll give the forward progress to the original line. Third and goal.
This offensive line of the Warriors tonight with big Noah Hill up there. It's like the shroud of you're in offensive. Once they get this ball snapped, they're trying to put another one across the goal line. Have definitely turned this goal line into malfunction junction for the Redskins tonight.
Christian Lumpkin keeps it. He'll pick up about 3 yards. Gets it to the 6-yard line.
So looks like they're going to have to send Mr. Robbie Lewis out here for a field goal try. Anderson able to stand up and bridge that gap, and hopefully somebody else will stand up here and get a hand on this kick maybe for him.
And Winton Woods takes their first timeout.
Winton Woods tells timeout to ice their own man here.
They had too few players. They had 10 players, according to what I heard from Chet on the other end.
Well, I know Coach Stray don't want to hear about that. This is being senior night, though, and all the seniors in the band, cheerleaders, hydration staff, all these young student athletes deserve our utmost admiration and respect.
5:10 left in this matchup.
And let me just say again, since this is senior night, that I've been doing this long enough that I know their song, beacon of our strength and pride, two legends standing side by side. Testament to brotherhood, hail to thee, O Winton Woods. And the hold is down and the kick is up.
And that is good. So Winton Woods will go up 38-6 with 5:06 left.
So that's the first time tonight that Anderson is able to hold Winton Woods out of the end zone once they got down there in the red zone.
And that, Jacob, is the first score of the second half.
First score of the second half. So, it just goes to show that Redskins did make some adjustments and stiffen up.
And Winton Woods still got a red zone score.
Of course, Winwood's offense been on long drives. It's just like Uncle Jake's driving lessons back this time of year. He would always say, hey, it's better to know the hazards than learn by accident. Hazards this time of year include wet leaves and smashed up pumpkins. So therefore, this is what reminds me of a job well done by the Warriors tonight, where they turn these Pumpkinhead Anderson respectfully back out to Anderson. I mean, these helmets they got just remind me of pumpkin,
That kick caught on the 2-yard line. That is taken by Jared Cook, and he'll get to about the 26-yard line. Jacob, we have a final. Edgewood 14, Mount Healthy 10.
Okay. Edgewood comes on there and smacks Big Bird down.
After 3 quarters over in... that score just fell off my screen because for some reason I'm not able to scroll on this thing. The score of the Coleraine game disappeared off my screen, and for some reason my fantastic iPad and Cover It Live are not agreeing right now.
Of course, you told us a lot when you told us that Mount Healthy score. 4:55 left to go in the affair here tonight at Frederick Field.
Yes.
I'll tell you, JP, Coach Dre and his staff, they can sell used snowmobiles to the Australian bobsled team. They've absolutely given these guys the sense of accomplishment they need.
Okay, I finally made my score appear for the Coleraine game. Coleraine leads Lakota West 36-30 after 3 quarters in a wild one at Coleraine Stadium, according to a tweet by Westchester Buzz.
Westchester Buzz, Coleraine always kind of felt that not so much them, but the Lakotas of the world, they were good to a point, but I think if they ever had to match up against Coleraine for the whole thing, that Coleraine would prevail in that.
I see no evidence of a score change in the Harrison Northwest game. That would still have Northwest down. Harrison missed a field goal that would have put them up 11 points.
Chad Murphy, I don't know what's going on over there, but if it has anything to do with the kicking game.
Rogers, ball stripped, it looks like. But Anderson recovers it themselves at the 22-yard line.
So it looks like Anderson is going to punt this ball. Winwood's Warriors, I don't know if they're privy to the information that you just put out there about the Mount Healthy game.
That'll help Winton Woods in those Harbins. Winton Woods would love a home first playoff game. They've only had, as Anderson punts that off. Edwards calling for fair catch, but he drops it. And a scrum for it under a pile.
Well, it kind of looked like an Anderson guy may have ended up with that one. And they're motioning it for him.
And it is Anderson ball. So Anderson recovers that. He called a fair catch and didn't catch it.
Well, you know, that's
and
Mike
it was touched,
Edwards.
it was a live ball.
That's Mike Edwards. He's been all over the field for him tonight, and you know, I don't want to give him a free pass on a mistake, but certainly I'm thinking more of what he's done right and well than that particular play. They're going to survive that. Overheard the PA announcer telling us that Hamilton is leading Middletown 13-7.
Anderson, number 17, Nick Stallings, running the ball far side. He'll get the first down and a lot more. Gets down to the Winton Woods 35-yard line.
Under 3 minutes left to go in the contest here. Anderson.
And that is Stallings. It was that tackle before going out of bounds.
You know, Coach Dre, back in the day when I was in high school, in my little town, we had a school called the East High Warriors, coached by Coach Billy Brabender, and he used to always get injured on sideline plays where every year it seemed like someone was running up on him, breaking his leg, and well, he was a coach of the Warriors too. I guess that has something to do when you're coaching the Warriors, you get right in there to make sure what's happening.
Harrison is up 35-20 over Northwest. Northwest, excuse me, has possession. They are about to have possession. 11:19 left in the fourth quarter over there.
Well, when I was out there last week doing that game, JP,
Yes.
I told everybody, I says, that's a game you can throw out the records between Harrison and Northwest.
Yes. And number 9 with it. Number 9 is Jacob Bowman. Takes a stumble. But gets the first down on that. And the ball's spotted on the 21-yard line, looks like.
He's got
22
new
yards.
numbers in there on defense, giving playing time to a lot of these underclassmen.
Yep.
And rightfully so.
Number 9 is Jacob Bowman is the backup quarterback.
Looks like the ball's out, but Anderson Redskins fortunate enough to jump on it. Well, you know, JP, before we get out of here, I just want to say that pleasure working with you tonight.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've done a color chair, but I'm always eager and anxious to do these games, help these high school athletes further their endeavors for their future. And I just want to point out that, you know, Cain didn't like Abel, nor Esau Jake. But, yo, Adrian, Warriors win this one for Dre and nation's sake.
Number 9, Jacob Bowman keeps it, picks up a few more yards, and it's now 1st and goal for the Redskins. 30 seconds left in the game. Anderson trying for a late score, and we have a whistle call. And we have equipment or some issue. Or the officials just checking count of players on the field here. That could be what it is. So, under 30 seconds left in the game. Bowman has the ball, runs it to the left side. Touchdown, Anderson.
Anderson able to get another score before this one's over. Their first score in the second half, and good blocking up front. Looks like the one Anderson offensive lineman was trying to reach out and hold that defender from Winton Woods, but he couldn't catch him.
So Anderson, looks like they're going to do that. Let's show a 2-point conversion, and instead we're actually going to do a PAT.
Once again, I want to give Anderson and
A.J. Penley
their try because they didn't bring a nation
and
with them.
Timeout called, or officials blowing a stop. So a flag.
I'll give my warm-up a game ball for
Illegal substitution called on the Redskins, so that'll back them up 5.
JP, I say I'll give my game ball for the Warriors to Mike Edwards. He did a fine job for him tonight.
So A.J. Penley has a few more yards to kick that ball. Kick is up and it's blocked again. Both of Penley's field goal or PAT attempts have been blocked by the Warriors defense in this game.
Well, that's again tribute to Coach Dre and his staff, making sure these guys showed up tonight with their A game.
Here's a replay of the block, Jacob.
Number 20, it's his foot stuck up in there in it, but the Winton Woods Warrior on special teams says, I don't think so. 15.
So here's the replay. Kick is up and...
You just can't see. Here we go a little bit.
Yeah, right in the middle of the screen. Couldn't tell what number. I think that was number 20 for Winton Woods, which would be Javante Wright. So
next week, though, the thing is, Winton Woods travels to Glen Estee.
They got to win that one.
And again, another game where you can throw out the records in that one.
Yeah.
Especially when they're playing at Glen Estee.
That's always a pretty big game between those two teams.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to see this coming year what kind of schedule the Warriors are able to forge and cobble together.
They only have one open date in week 6.
Maybe they could.
And they're trying to fill it. Winton Woods has one open date next year.
Well, then that's good.
But the schedule on final for 2013 yet. And number 6, Dylan Smith, kick. And number 26, Dr. Steve. He'll pick it up on the 25-yard line. Clock ticks down to 13.4 left. That was Jalen Davis.
So the Warrior offense will come out here and put this one in take a knee mode.
Yes. It's the only thing you need to do, take a knee and put it to bed. 13.4 seconds left. Anderson does have all 3 of their timeouts left, but I see no need for them to take those. So, on senior night, and Christian Lumpkin in for this play. Now, if they have him in, they may just run one to get him some more time. They run a play. They're running down the sideline, taken down.
Flag laying on the 30-yard line.
And the clock stops with 4.8 seconds left. Holding on Winton Woods.
Just want to get out of here.
So they ran a play to get Lumpkin some more time on the field, so they have a viable backup.
Well, they can work on that.
It was given to Lejad Scott for that snap.
Go out to Glen Estee next week and pound on them and give him some opportunities. And
that's it. So after 4 ferocious quarters of play, The Winton Woods Warriors take the win, 38-12. Jacob, Winton Woods has done what they need to do. This game will help them. Mount Healthy losing. Northwest looking like they will end up dropping that game. Winton Woods looking pretty good for a playoff shot.
Well, I just want to give my hats off to the visiting Anderson Redskins coming in here tonight, giving a respectable account of themselves. Next year's edition of this rivalry will be played at their home turf and hopefully have another good ball game for the Warriors.
Series goes to 9 wins for Anderson, 6 wins for Winton Woods. Winton Woods secures a hat trick, 3 straight wins against Anderson in the series, and this secures Anderson's second losing season in a row, the first time they've had 2 losing seasons in a row since 1989. Hey, thanks everyone for joining us. Don't forget, if you'd like to get involved with us here at Waycross, give us a call, 513-825-2429. For Tony, Jason, Hugh, Greg, Butch, Torin, Shaq, and all the rest of them down there in the truck for Waycross Community Media, and for Jacob Williams, my partner up here, I'm John Palmer. Again, final score, Winton Woods Warriors 38, Anderson Redskins 12. Good night, everybody.
Copies of this program are available for $20 each. Send program title along with your address and check or money order to Waycross Community Media. Attention Dub Coordinator, 2086 Waycross Road, Forest Park, Ohio 45240. Or buy securely on the web at www.waycross.tv.